Runk.
It's your boy. You know, I'm like a rapper, and I say it's your boy. Got completely yatted up so far. It's crazy how many yat-twos I got. But also, dude, we're going to get into this episode, and it's going to be amazing. Love you guys. And honestly, welcome to the next. Welcome to this episode of Congratulations.
Crazy. Congratulations.
So it's like this, dude. I love you. You know, I'm gonna be in New York coming up here on Saturday, February 18th. The second show. There's still tickets left. Kansas City, Minneapolis, Austin, Texas. We got a bunch here. ChrisDelia.com for tickets. Go to ChrisDelia.com. And it's episode, what is it, 300? Is this 300? Is this 300? Episode 300. That's annoying. That's very annoying. But it's episode 300 of Congratulations. Yay, never thought we'd get it, but we got it, dude. We got it, and we're sitting nice. What did I do to celebrate? Shit, man. I was going to maybe do something special for the episode 300, but I totally friggin' forgot about it. And it's okay. I totally forgot about it, and it's okay, because honestly, every episode is the same. It's me talking about the hard-hitting issues like pants and shirts and, you know, and whatever's been going down in my life, you know. And also I do talk about other things too. You know, I talk about, like, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about all sorts of stuff. Valentine's Day. Or how when your girls are single and they do Galentine's Day. Which is, by the way, any holiday, first of all, is made up. So don't make it up your own way, right? They did it, done. Valentine's Day, that's it. Galentine's Day, no. Thanksgiving, that's it. Friendsgiving, no. Just Thanksgiving with your friends. You can be a loser and you don't have to coin your own term. You can be a single loser and you don't have to coin your own term. Galentine's Day, no. The only thing I accept is Dudesentine's Day, because single dudes hanging out together on Valentine's Day that are straight, unbelievable. Straight Dudesentine's Day. That's the main thing I want to do, straight Dudesentine's Day. But, and yeah, so we don't do Friendsgiving, and anytime someone does a potluck, you know, potlucks are okay, but basically have a family, and if you don't, it's sad, and that's fine, but revel in it. Just revel in it. Be sad. Feel your feelings, right? Because if you don't feel your feelings, and you just, you know, you're going and doing your Friendsgiving and Galentine's Day, you're really faking the funk, and we don't want to fake the funk, right? You want to feel your feelings. So that's what's up. Had a great time on the road. Where was I? Where was I last even? San Antonio. Did I do that? Did I talk about that yet? And Houston. Did I talk about that yet? Did I talk about that yet? Did I talk about Houston? When was I there? Where was I last? Wow. No idea. Yes, dude. I need ginkgo biloba. I need to stop taking gabapentin. Dude, I legitimately have no idea where I was last. Wow. San Antonio, Houston, and let's see. Wait, far. What was I? Okay, hold on. Wait, so I think that was the last one. San Antonio, yes. Oh. San Antonio, absolutely bonkers. That crowd was absolutely bonkers. San Antonio was great. We love it. Houston, well, it was Sugarland, that's why. Very rich area of Houston, like 19 miles away from Houston. I tried to pretend like it was Houston so the people from Houston would go get it. Yeah, there were over 2,000 people there. The crowd was okay. Don't know what it was, but it was only okay. Had a bad set. Felt lonely afterwards. Yes, dude. Family wasn't with me. Felt lonely afterwards. Yes, man. Didn't want to feel my feelings. Wanted to go into my phone. Yes, did I? No, David Sullivan was there. Talked it out with him. Yes, dude. Need to talk out your feelings with people. Otherwise, you know, you know, it all gets bunched up and you get fucked up, and yes, that becomes a tumor and cancer. Yes, but we all die of cancer anyway, and it's okay, right? Because you're gonna die of cancer anyway. You know, because it's like if the stress doesn't get you, the ice cream will. If the ice cream doesn't get you, who knows? The radiation. If there's something going on, you're gonna be living near a nuclear power plant or whatever. So. San Antonio, Houston, and then, what do you call it? I went to, what was the third one? Oh, Louisiana. Oh, the show was bonkers, dude. The show was bonkers. Honestly, New Orleans, I was like, I don't know about this place. It seems like such a party town that I don't know if it's going to be a good show or not because everyone's all interested in just showing their tits and doling out beads. But I did the show, and it was great. It's a tough sell in New Orleans for comedians, unless you're Theo Von because he's from there. But it's a tough sell. And the crowd was just awesome. I think the trick is to do the Sunday shows there because their vibe is party no matter what. But if you do Friday, Saturday, their vibe is party, and they're not the last thing you're doing. They're doing that night. They're not the last thing that they're doing that night. But you might be if it's Sunday. We did a 7:00 show, and maybe at 9:00 after the show, they're like, "Yeah, it's Sunday. We're going home." They're not pre-lit at your show. They're lit at your show. They're not pre-lit to get to the lit shit because nobody is more activated and excited than a pre-lit person. You want the people at your event already lit. You don't want them pre-lit because pre-lit means everything's going to be fucking annoying and shit's going to catch on fire and there's going to be people yelling out like woo or whatever the fuck it is, especially at a comedy show, right? So we did it and it was great. And the New Orleans show was absolutely fantastic. I love those people in New Orleans. And people actually in New Orleans came out to the show, had no idea. Stayed at the fucking I don't know where we stayed, a really nice hotel right on the strip there. And David Sullivan was always being like, you know, David Sullivan, my friend came with me, my friend from Texas, and he was always just saying stuff like, "Is this the French Quarter?" And I'm just like, dude, stop asking that. Because it doesn't matter where you are as long as you look up and you're having a good time. And that's a quote to put on my fucking tombstone, and I'm being dead serious. It doesn't matter where you are. Just look up. If you're having a good time, breathe easy, my baby. That's what we say, life rips. Speaking of which, we got the new merch going on, Mike. Life rips. We got the nice winter colors. It's super, super nice. Get one for you. Get one for your significant other and cuddle near the fireplace because that's what it is. Lots of storms everywhere. The merch didn't even make it to San Antonio. Well, a little bit of it made it to San Antonio, and it didn't make it to Houston, and it didn't make it to Louisiana. Yes, dude, because of the storms. All good, man. And I tell you, that's really fucking annoying that happened. Because that's money from my pocket that I don't get to have. All right, it's all good though, dude. But it's like, no, it's annoying, right? No dents, but it's annoying though, right? And then people complain because, dude, you can only get the merch exclusively at the shows. And if you're in Louisiana waiting for the exclusive merch and then you can't get it, I'm just like, okay, it hurts me, it hurts you. So we're hurt together, we're in the same boat, and it's fine. But, dude, you know, it is what it is. What can I do? What can I do? I can't do anything if there's going to be a storm a-coming. But yeah, he's ridiculously added up. Like now I'm actually a tatted up guy. You know how many tattoos I have? 9. I got a flower here, an elevator, a fucking staircase, all different ways to get up and down a building, and then fucking fire and an eagle and a plane and a fucking 40 with the floral arrangement and then a fucking paper airplane right here. Oh, dude, do not make me get a cityscape on my neck because I will. Right? Because I will. Because I'm going to be fucking ridiculously. Here's, I don't know, man. You know, I don't know why you listen to this fucking podcast because basically it's ramblings of a madman, but I love tattoos. And when I hit 40, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going all in. And I did. And then I saw Machine Gun Kelly and I was like, that guy looks cool with a bunch of tattoos. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going for it. Fuck it. Also, when I hold the fucking microphone and I do it like this, people are just going to be like, he's at it. I'm practically Lenny Kravitz up in this bitch, but I don't even know if he has tattoos. Also, when black guys get tattoos, like it's like they need to get, you know, those neon ones that they make now? Those are fucking pretty cool. Not my style, but black dudes should get that. Because when you just get black ink on a brown body, you can't really see it. It still does look kind of cool. But it's kind of like when you're a white guy and you get tattoos, you really are making a fucking statement. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I sorry about the merch shit, but we do have a good time on the road. Love my openers, man. I love the comedians. I shouldn't even say they're openers. That's something I used to say. I wish I didn't do that. I'm fortunate to have comedians open for me that are already comedians and very good. Like when Mike Lenoci would open for me, and he still does sometimes. But now I got Denny Love and I got Lulu Gonzalez. And I'm very fortunate because they don't need to be opening. They're stars in their own right. You know, Mike, Denny, and Lulu. But yeah. It's, yeah. So what did you do for Valentine's Day? Did you do the thing where you took your Your woman out, your wife or your fiance or girlfriend or whatever it is. Did you take them out on Valentine's Day? Or did you bitch out and do it like on a Wednesday or a Monday? Not the Tuesday, right? Dude, I tell you what. When it comes to Valentine's Day, first of all, a made-up holiday. All holidays are made up, okay? It's okay. It's fine, right? Like even Christmas, you could be like, well, but that's when the Lord did whatever he did. But you're like also, yeah, but also, you know what I mean? Like Babyface has a Christmas album. So really, does it, right? Yeah, okay, the Lord did this and great, but then there's like Jingle All the Way and elves and shit. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of made up though, right, Santa? Yeah, but on Easter, but that was when the Lord did whatever he did on Easter. But then also it's like there's a bunny hopping around, okay? And you need to hide candy and eggs and look. So it's like, all right, but it's real, but also it's made up. So it's real, but also is it? Like I get you can be religious, but also a bunny, right? So what'd you do for Valentine's Day? Because I'll tell you what I did. When it comes to Valentine's Day, dude, I'm Mr. Bitch Out. Because mostly, though, because she said that we could do it on Wednesday, and then mostly also because I have one of my men's groups on Tuesday night. And I can't miss it, dude. Because I can't miss it, man, because I got to talk about my feelings. Because if I don't talk about my feelings, they all get jumbled, and I live in resentment. And when I live in resentment, I get in trouble. We don't want to live in resentment, right? And it's not some sort of thing where I feel pissed off and then boom, I'm going to go, you know what I mean? Just numb out in my phone or numb out with, trying to, whatever it is, thinking about sex, whatever it is, numbing out, right? Instead of what it is I get resentment and then it festers and I live in that world for a while. And before I even know it, it's like, okay, I'm numbing out. And that's just a life of an addict. But I will tell you this, though, dude. We're doing it on Wednesday, and mainly it's number one mainly because I got to do my group, but then also my wife said that we should do it another day. But also that's how you save money. But I didn't even know that, and it doesn't even matter, right? No dents. But also, by the time I even tried to do something on a Tuesday, everything was sold out, so all good. You know what I mean? Even Mozart Stereo. So it's like, what can I do, dude? I live in LA and everyone's trying to fucking, and I want to get a table, but then it's like, can I call and say I'm Chris D'Elia? But it's like, not really, because John Mayer already has that seat. And who's going to get it between me and John Mayer? Him, and that's okay, but it's like, like they got to be like, I know you're Chris D'Elia, but actually Lloyd Banks is bringing his side bitch. So, okay. Well, why is he bringing his side bitch for Valentine's Day? Because Wednesday's the side chick day. I didn't know that. Somebody told me that they're like Monday's the side chick day for Valentine's Day, and Tuesday's the actual Valentine's Day. And I'm like, dude, is that actually a real thing? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, nah, but that's like you saw Sopranos one too many times. And she's like, no, it's real. So Monday night, if you see a dude with a chick, that's their side chick, right? That's their side chick. But I'm going Wednesday, so I don't even know what that means. But this is my whole. How about that? I'm bringing my whole life out. Side chick, Valentine's Day, and then the real shit on Wednesday. I'm bringing my whole life out. My wife. I'm gonna look in her eyes and eat some pasta or something. So yeah, I don't know, man. So don't call it Galentine's Day. That's some CUDA shit. And then I don't know. Is there love in the air even? Is there love in the air? Is there love in the air? Sometimes I feel love in the actual air. I'm just like, I feel love, right? Like I'm walking on sunshine. But sometimes I'm like, maybe not really. There's not like some love in the air. Guess what I don't do anymore? Go to coffee shops and sit. He graduated, dude. I'm 42. I don't go to coffee shops and sit anymore. Maybe when I'm on the road, you know me, I hang out at coffee shops where I run the block, right? Not anymore. I'm 42. I've decided that's too old to sit at coffee shops and hang out anymore. Dude, he makes decisions. He lives with intent. Okay? And if you're 42, you shouldn't do it either. How about that, dude? There's so many fucking rules in life that are the real rules. Right? People are always like, yeah, don't rob. And I'm like, yeah, don't rob. But the real rules, though. So I don't do it anymore. I just go, I get the coffee, and I leave. What are we going to do, man? What are we going to do, right? What are we going to do? That's what I decided. There's no reason for me to be in a coffee shop just sitting around. I'm 42. And been thinking about this. Part of it is, family man. Want to be with my wife and son a little bit more. And that's fine. But I was at a coffee shop the other day. It was yesterday. I went in to just get the coffee and bounce out because that's what I do now, dude. Right? I'm really cool about it. I'm like, well, why is that going? Oh, he doesn't. Oh, I thought. Oh, okay. Oh, but that's the comedian. Oh, yeah, okay. I guess he's gone. Well, I wanted to ask for a bit, but okay, whatever. I go in and this thing where now. By the way, the whole fucking. Remember when we used to just put our cards in the thing and then take them out? And now it's, first of all, you used to just give the credit card to the guy. And the guy would be like, first of all, before that, you just use cash. Right? Like in 1950 or something? I don't know. When did credit cards come out? 2005? And you just give cash. And then the guy would take the cash and then give you more cash, right? When did credit cards come out? 1960s. All right. So when my dad was born, people were just, their pockets just looked like big fucking water beetles, right? If you were rich. Because you couldn't even have, or you had checkbook, you're the asshole with the checkbook at fucking Save On. Whatever. But then they invented the credit cards. And then, by the way, before money, there was just, you would trade shit. You'd be like, hey, I really like those coffee beans. Can I get a bag of them? And people would be like, yeah, but what do you got? And you'd just be like, you want this scarf? And they'd be like, it does get cold around here. And you just give them a scarf and you give you like 2 bags of beans. Right? And then money, which I never really was a big fan of money because you give people money and you'll give them like $1 if something is 45 cents. And then you get back like 2 quarters and a nickel. Or even worse, 3 dimes, 2 nickels, and 2 more nickels, and then another nickel, and then you just got like so many. I gave you 1, and now I got to have all this bullshit, right? That sucks. To give something $1 and then more stuff that's actually less, I'm not a part of it, right? So, and heavier, right? So it's like money's bullshit. Then credit cards, cool. Then it's like you give the guy the credit card, the guy takes the credit card, does the thing, and then gives it back, and you got to sign it. It's too much. Then they came up with the fucking, you slide the credit card thing in, great. Take it out, great. Fine. I do the credit card shit now. But now it's like, they're like, either slide it or put it in for a little bit or just put it around the area. And it's like, okay, first of all, pick one. This is your fucking establishment. I have the card. What the fuck is there to do? Everybody's got the fucking tap shit. So if you just want to make it the tap shit, tell me to just wave it around the area now. This is one of those things that the technology is not caught up to the thing. Because a lot of times they're like, yeah, the tap function actually, it doesn't really work. So slide it in. And you're like, all right, I'm just getting used to the tap shit now, but fine. So it's completely fucking annoying. I want to go back to the days where you just take my credit card, do what it is you need to do. Now, people are like, oh, yeah, but it's safety in Australia. They've been doing it forever, and so has Britain. And it's like, okay, yeah, I guess it's safer if not everybody's holding my credit card. But whatever, dude. Here's the fucking annoying part. There's too many screens now. You tap it, they go, okay, is this amount okay? Yes. Okay, you want tip. All right. And then they give you like 3 or 4 options for a tip. It'll be like 10%, 20%, 30%. Like, first of all, the balls, right? Like 20% okay. And I do 30 a lot of the time, but most people ain't fucking, we fly high, no lie, we roll in, ballin'. And like, I get it, right? But since I'm the kind of guy who, everybody, they know when I walk in, we fly high, no lie, we roll in, ballin'. They know, right? So I'm like, well, I can't not tip 30. And then somebody tweets out, and he doesn't tip well. But also, I don't do it to get in right with fucking Jesus. I do it because, you know what? This coffee, the tip is $2. Fuck it. Who cares, right? But here's what I don't like. You look at it, now I'm going to do it with you as if we're doing, like, you see the 10%, and then you see the 20%, and then you see the 30%. So everybody knows the left side is the little tip, if that's what you want to do. Sometimes companies are savvy, like sandwich places, like mom and pop places. They'll flip it and put the 30% first, then 20, and then 10. So you think automatically you go boop and hit the 30, even though you think you're hitting the 10, and then you go, fuck it, and then sign the thing and hit it, right? Dude, that is some fucking bitch shit. That's undercover. That's like the fucking GoFundMe, how they add the tip in already. They say, you're going to get 15%, right? And you go, whoa, what? And you got to unclick it. That's a bit like robbery. It's an unspoken thing, so it's not like robbery, but it's an unspoken thing. But we all know that the money's supposed to go little money to the left and then upper, bigger money to the right, okay? But here's the deal. There's too many screens, right? Because then you got to click the tip and then you got to sign it and click the okay. It's like, dude, this is taking longer than when we just used to trade shit. It would be way quicker if I just got 2 packs of beans and I pulled the scarf off. So now it's taking too long as it is. But here's the thing. Sometimes, because the screens are different, and by the way, thank God you're listening to this podcast because this is very important. And like and subscribe, honestly. And leave a comment on how do you feel about this, even though I don't care. But I want you to know. I want you to do it. It helps the algorithm. Do I, when you get the tip screen and you walk away, sometimes you don't think, you're like, I hit the thing, I got to go away now. And then the tip screen is left open, right? And the guy behind the thing is like, oh shit, he didn't do the tip screen. Never once have I ever heard the guy say, oh man, you didn't do the tip screen. Not once in my life have I ever heard that. But I have heard people say, oh, it's asking you some questions. Now we know what's going on there. They don't want to sound greedy. Oh, dude. And I get why they do it. And they don't want to put you in that uncomfortable situation where it's like, oh, shit, yeah, I wasn't going to give you a tip. I was going to put 0, but I fucked up. Now you're looking at me do it because you know I didn't do it. So, dude, today the guy goes like this. Not even like, he didn't even do it any sort of, I understand you don't want to say, oh, you didn't do the tip, but he goes like this. It was well across the coffee place because I forgot to click all the fucking buttons. He says, oh, man, it's still asking you a question. Dude. And I say, huh? And he says, it's still asking you a question. And I'm like, oh, I walk over and I say, yeah. And I give him a 30% tip because you know what I mean. But it's like, and you know what I mean, but it's like, dude, it was so fucking funny. And those are the things I think about. And I'll go a step further. Those are the things I think about all day long. Now, did I do couples therapy 3 days in a row, and did it last for hours each day? And the answer is yes. Did I talk about real feelings and emotions? Yes. Did my wife talk about real feelings and emotions? Yes. Okay. Yes, we did. Was it hard for me? Yeah. Why? Because I want to think and talk only about things like the tipping function at a coffee shop. Why? Because I want to talk about things that interest me and I think are funny. But why? Because it's a defense mechanism, so I don't have to deal with real feelings. Why? Because something happened in my childhood that made me wall up and close off. What? I'm not telling. So it's like... Oh, shit. So I'll just get a bunch of tattoos and keep on living. You know what I mean, dude? It's just life rips, man. It does. You're either growing or dying. I say that. You're either growing or dying. I fully believe that. You're either growing or dying. Because one time Ed OG said, death is just the moment when the dying ends. And as a young lad, 25, I just go, that's interesting. Because I've also heard the quote, to live is to find meaning through the suffering. Yes, I pulled it out. I thought I forgot it, dude. And I'm like, But I've also heard life is a highway. I'm going to ride it all night long. So I'm like, which one, though? Am I going to be super jerk-off positive or super jerk-off negative, right? And I'm like, shit, man. What I think is you're either growing or dying because that's your choice. That's your choice. You could either grow or die. And death is just the moment when the dying ends, if you're not growing. It's all about choice. You got to grow or die. That's why when they say stuff like skate or die, I'm like, no, there's so many different things you can do in between skating and dying. Like eating a blueberry muffin, taking a walk around the park, flying to Fiji. But there's nothing you can do in between growing or dying. You're either doing one or the other. So that's why I say, grow or die. Which one are you doing? I choose grow. But it's hard, right? It's hard because you're always... To grow, you have to feel your feelings. You can't numb out. You can't only think about things like tipping at coffee shops and cargo pants. You got to think about the stuff that hurts and is real. Grow or die. So yeah. So that's why I did couples therapy for 3 days in a row for way too many hours. It's all good. I saw... Got so much mucus for some reason. Yes, all good. I saw... yes, dude. I saw the Super Bowl, or as I call it, the Stupid Bowl. No, I'm kidding. It was actually a really good game. It really was a good game. Pat Mahoney, Pat Mahoney, Pat Mahoney, Pat Mahoney, and then the other guy, Jalen Hurts. Everybody hurts. It's a good song. Sometime, whoa. And it was good, dude. It was a good game. And then Rihanna went on the thing, and then, of course, here's the thing. Rihanna can do no wrong. Ever. Now, I don't mean to take away from her. She is talented as all get out. She's got a great voice. And she's beautiful. And she's just cool, right? Big Rihanna fan. I didn't know she sang in the Super Bowl. I'm like, she got that many hits? They kept coming, dude. And I'm watching her do the thing, and she can do no wrong. Like, honestly, Rihanna could legitimately have, like, she could go rob a bank without a mask, and people would be like, well, she deserves that money. And people will be like, it was actually my money at the bank. And they say, yeah, but you're not Rihanna. And they go, what? I mean, well, why does she get it? She sings Rude Boy. And you're like, all right, I guess. Just kind of shitty. It was. She took $5,000 from me and so much from other people, like all throughout it. And they're like, yeah, but Umbrella. Yeah, all right. Also, she's one of those women that, by the way, she's super sexy, but she's one of those women that everyone talks about is so beautiful that they just, it's like, okay, dude. All right. Right? And she wore all pink and she was good. And she was pregnant. And that was amazing. Because let me tell you something, dude. She performed halftime. She does this thing where she's like, she's a great dancer, but she didn't really do it this time because she's pregnant. And she's doing the thing where she's like, I don't give a fuck about the dancing. I'm cool. I do whatever I want. And it was very cool how she was doing it. It was great. It was a great performance. The only other performance that I liked in recent history was where Eminem and all the guys did it. And 50 Cent was like upside down. And Adam Levine is cool. I didn't really see the one with the whatever the fuck it was. What's their band name? Maroon 5. Gaba Penton. Nidakin Kabaloba. But I do feel like Rihanna was killing it. And then I'm like, okay, so she's pregnant. And then I'm like, how far along is she? I guess she's having another baby with A$AP Rocky, right? That's who it is? Because she had a one recently. And apparently he fucking squirted all up in her immediately after because she's already pregnant again, although I'm no good with time. Like, if you ask me when the Razor scooter came out, I'd be like, was it 2016? And people are like, dude, it was the 80s. And I'm like, oh. I say, well, what movie is George Hamilton coming out in? And they're like, huh? And I say, the gold guy who does and they say, he's dead. Well, he's not. But I'm like, oh, I didn't know how old he was. Okay, whatever. Like, I'm not good with time. So, she does the dancing and the singing, and her voice is amazing. And she's way sky high up into she's on a plank. That's like, also, by the way, like super, if she fell off, no more Rihanna. Like zero more Rihanna. If she fell off, just no more shine bright like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond. Zero more shining like a diamond, more just being in the dirt really dark. Like dead, okay? So she's on this plank and it's like wobbly and she's just sitting there just fucking, shine bright like a diamond, umbrella, just killing it. Not doing too much dancing because she's pregnant. I thought in the beginning, I was like, oh, she's not doing too much dancing because she's on a plank. She could fall off and break all of her. But no, the truth is she revealed the bump, but didn't even do a thing like, look at my bump. She was just like, I have a bump and I don't give a fuck about y'all. And that's super Rihanna, and I love that. But then I'm like, Rihanna's doing all that shit. And my wife is like, can you get me a LaCroix? And I'm just like, I've been saying yeah for like 7 months. She's almost 8 months pregnant, my wife. And I'm like, she's like, hey, could you make sure the heat is in there? And I get up and I go do it. And I'm like, we got 1 more month left, which is like, I got to be doing all sorts of shit, but I'm just going to go like this. When she says, hey, Chris, can you get the salt or the Postmates is here. Can you grab it? I'm just going to go like this. Rihanna. Hey, why don't you shine bright like a diamond and go downstairs and get it? You know what I'm talking about? I'm joking because I love her and she's my angel, but also on the comedy tip, why don't you saunter down there and why don't you do that? Because this rude boy's cool right now. I'm just chilling and you're actually, right? She said, but I'm 8 months, but I say, but Rihanna. Remember how she was really high up in Super Bowl 57 or whatever it was? And how she could have died? You know what I'm talking about? Dude, every dude who had a pregnant lady with them when they were watching the Super Bowl and Rihanna did the fucking shit and she's up there with 7 months pregnant or however months pregnant she was, every dude like this to their wife like this. And she said, well, I'm not Rihanna. And you go, but you could get the salt, right? I'm just saying, I know you don't, and she's Rihanna. I'm not asking you to stand up on the plank and sing 15 hits, right? Which I don't think you should do. Even when you're not pregnant, I think that'd be exhausting. I get that's Rihanna. You can't turn the air on? That's all I'm saying, dude. I'm having a sympathetic pregnancy, though. So, how about when dudes and somebody tried to, it's a real thing. They say sympathetic pregnancies, and I say, oh, like the dude gets tired too because he nutted in her 6 months ago. Okay, cool, I'll buy that. Then who's getting the fucking Tabasco? You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, Rihanna made me question about that because, like, people think, somebody told me once that they thought that blue balls, I think it was my wife. She said she thought blue balls was a conspiracy. That guys just do it so they could be like, come on, I need a release, I've never had blue balls myself, right? But she thought it was a conspiracy. Oh, no. That's not what she thought was a conspiracy. She thought it was a conspiracy that when guys got kicked in the nuts, that it hurt. That's what my wife thought when she was younger. And I'm like, no, dude, it hurts so bad. But I think it's a conspiracy with what's going on with these, I saw Rihanna dancing on a plane. What is she, 5 months pregnant? I saw her doing it. Okay. So all I'm saying is, why are you making me drive down to get cold cuts when Rihanna's dead on the plane, right? I'm not the one with the fat belly, but, it's like, shine bright like a diamond. Go down to Ralph's. Shine bright like a diamond. Go down to Home Depot if we got the fucking shit going on. There's a movie that I caught I was on iTunes or whatever the fuck they call it now. Apple TV. Not Apple TV. What's the thing where you can rent the movies? It's Apple TV, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. Movies. You just click on movies when you have the Apple app, right? And you could just buy or rent movies, right? And sometimes it's like, hey, rent this movie for $2, and you're like, oh, cool. And then it'll be like, rent this movie for $20, and you're like, what? But both of them have Matt Damon in it, and you're like, why? And they're like, well, because this one isn't available for purchase yet, and you're like, none of this makes any sense, but whatever. Not a big deal. So I see the thing on the suggested for you, whatever, and it's called Skinamarink. So I'm like, I see the visual that's captivating to me of a little boy upside down on the ceiling. The ceiling is the floor, and the floor is the ceiling, and the image is upside down, and it's grainy, and it says Skinamarink. So I'm like, the only thing this could be is a horror movie, right? Because of the grainy footage, because of how it's weirdly upside down, and then the number one thing that is always in a horror movie, a little boy. So, like, you can't nowadays have a horror movie without a little boy in it. You know that, right? Like, it just doesn't happen. It's either the little boy is not in it. The little boy is either the object of the fucking scariness, or the little boy is the scariness, and you don't know until the end, like that stupid movie Identity with John Cusack. So I go to click the trailer because I watch trailers. I need to see if it whet my appetite. Because I see on Rotten Tomatoes it's 71% with the Rotten Tomato in, which is a good thing for Rotten Tomato, but also Rotten Tomato, we all know, is absolutely horse yank. It's not good. Rotten Tomatoes either are only the haters voting on the thing, or all of the Asians that are excited about the Asian movies, and that's why Shang-Chi or whatever the fuck that movie got 100% rating. And I looked at it, and it was the worst Marvel movie ever. 10 rings, whatever. Too many rings, right? Even Lord of the Rings didn't specify it, and it was just kind of one ring, right? But Shang-Chi, 10 rings, you're just like, all right. That movie was awful. And all the Asians got on there like, oh, finally, this is the fucking Asian one. Boom, boom, boom. 100% rating? Dude, Rotten Tomatoes. You got no legs to stand on now after that Shang-Chi 99% whatever, okay? But it's the dorks that do it, or the haters. Spider-Man Far From Home. Get the fuck far from my home. I'm not watching that. So, so now I look at the Skinamarink, 71% Rotten Tomatoes. Now I'm like, okay, a real rating. A real fucking rating. I can get behind something that's the best. That is the best rating you can get for Rotten Tomatoes is 71%. In my egotistical opinion. All right? But I look at the preview because I still want to whet my appetite, right? I see the 71% rating, but I'm still like, but should I actually watch this? Should I pay the $3 for it? Of course, doesn't matter, but... So I click the preview. I watch the preview. I don't know what's going on the whole time I watch it. The whole preview. The 2-minute preview. I don't know what's going on. The only thing I know is that it looks creepy and these kids like can't really find anything that they're trying to look for. So my friend is over. Our friend, Kristen and I, a friend, and she says, let's watch it. So I say, really? It's a real specific watch. You sure you want to watch it, or you want to watch something where we could just like veg out? And she says, I don't know, looks cool. So I say, all right. I turn it on. This movie, Skinamarink. It's so very weird for 10 minutes. It's like basically a slideshow. It's showing pictures. Some of them are moving, but most of them are not. They're moving pictures, but of still things. It's like they're filming the side of a wall, somebody's feet, the armrest of a couch, and nothing's really happening. There's a TV that's on in the background of a cartoon with old-timey music, which makes it creepy. And then every now and then somebody says something, but you don't know who's saying it because it didn't show any faces yet. And you don't really know what they're saying because you can't really hear it because it sounds like this. Except for the fact that sometimes there are subtitles and they let you know what the person's saying. So I'm like, okay, this is very interesting. And I'm watching it for 10 minutes and I'm like, But also, come on. What's going on here? Make it a little more digestible. Is this a movie or is it ASMR? Because the whole movie sounds like this. And while that's happening, you'll hear someone do this. Now, if you're alone in your car and it's nighttime, that was probably a little creepy, right? But that's what the movie is, and I'm watching it at night, and our friend is there, and thank God. Okay? Kristen has already went to bed, right? Because she's pregnant, and she goes to sleep at like 9:30 now, and she's not Rihanna. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm watching this with our friend, and 20 minutes goes by. Haven't seen a face. Still pretty much moving images of still things. Sometimes a toy will come into frame and like skip across the floor. Where's mom? And it says, where's mom on the thing? And I'm like, all right, look, it is creepy. But also, come on. Make this a little more digestible, all right? So I look at our friend and I say, you want to keep watching this or what? And she says, I don't know. So I'm getting no help from her. I'm getting no help from the fucking movie. I'm just like stuck. It's 30 minutes into this movie. The movie's an hour and a half. And so I start Googling. I'm like, I got to Google to see if it's... So I Google, why is Skinamarink so scary? And it comes up, and now I see people saying, This is the scariest movie of all time. I see people saying, I've never seen anything scarier. I see people saying, there are horror movies. That's not what this is. This isn't scary. This is terrifying. So I'm like, what? So now I'm like, all right, I guess I'm along for the ride. But I better start seeing some faces or something going on. And a picture of like a tricycle, and I'm like, all right. Okay. But I can't lie. If our friend left, I'm turning something else on. Not because I'm bored. Because I'm scared. South Park's got to go on after that. Because this looks like the devil filmed this. There are no shots outside the house. So now I notice in the movie, all the doors and the windows gone. The house had doors and windows, then they're gone. And now the kid's saying, I don't know. They can't find their dad. Where's their dad? No clue. So now these kids are just in a room in their house watching. They don't know where their dad is. They're alone, and the TV won't turn off. So I'm like, that's a scary nightmare in a way, right? It's like a nightmare in the way of, oh, hey, what was your nightmare about? Not like this kind of nightmare where you're like, oh, dude, I was at war, and all of a sudden I realized I was fighting werewolves, and the werewolves came and ate me. And you're like, oh, I get how scary that is. It wasn't a nightmare like that. It was like one of those nightmares where you're like, dude, I had this crazy nightmare last night. And somebody's like, what? What was it about? And you say, I was with like my grandma or someone's grandma, and it was my house, but the doors weren't there, and my grandma kept trying to like make me pasta, but she was in the other room, and I wasn't sure if that's really what she was doing. But then also there was like this pile of bricks, and I somehow had to eat them, but I couldn't cut them up, so I had to swallow them whole. And you're like, oh, well, that's way worse than fighting werewolves. And how long were you in the dream? Well, they say dreams don't last more than 3 minutes, but I know I was in there for 11 years. Oh, well, that's fucking purgatory. I'd rather have werewolves eat me than that, right? So now I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, this motherfucker is really kind of creepy. I keep watching, and an hour in, I shit you not, 0 faces. Sometimes you see these children's feet. You just see a lamppost or like a foot of a bed. Then the TV's on in the back. And I'm watching it for an hour, and now I'm like hooked. I'm like, okay, well, I got to ride this out. And I look, and they made the movie for $15,000. And opening weekend, it made $2 million. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh, the director was a YouTube guy who would make short films about people's nightmares, and then made this movie, and now it's like got some sort of awards, and it's really doing something. And I'm like, oh my God. So then, about an hour into the movie, I hear not just one of the children's voices, who are alone, by the way. I hear someone say, put the knife in your eye. And on the screen it says, put the knife in your eye. And I go, huh. Well, I'm not sleeping tonight. Because then you see the back of a kid shake a little bit, and you don't really know what he's doing. But then after about a minute or two, you realize, oh, that kid probably put a knife through his eye. It shows more toys and shit. And by the way, I'm not going to ruin the movie, because you know why? You can't. If I told you every single thing that happened in this movie, it wouldn't be ruining the movie, because you can't ruin the movie. You can't spoil it. It's just terrifying. The movie ended, and our friend left. And then I was sitting there in the kitchen, and I said, well, I guess I got to go to sleep now, because I'm tired. Went to sleep next to my wife, fell asleep, woke up in the morning, forgot that I saw the movie. Then when I remembered I saw the movie, I had this emotional response with me that was a very low grade kind of what the fuck did I watch last night? It was all day. Then the next night, my wife went to bed early, and I was downstairs alone, and I was too scared, so I had to watch fucking South Park. This movie, Skinamarink, it is one of the creepiest movies I've ever seen in my life. And I really want to know what you think of it. I don't know if I guess it's good because it made me feel very, very weird, and it's very, very scary for zero reason. Okay? And of course, you know me, addict's behavior. I went on the guy's YouTube page and I watched a lot of his short films. They're all absolutely fucking terrifying. So, what the fuck's going on? I have no idea, but go see that movie, Skinamarink. It's worth $3 to rent it. It's called Skinamarink, too. You know? Skinamarink-a-rink-a-dink, Skinamarink-da-doo. And then he purposely called it Skinamarink, not Skidamarink, because Skidamarink is that children's song, and he didn't want kids to Google it and get the wrong thing. And then all of a sudden, the kids are watching. Put the knife in your eye. Mama, what's a knife in the eye? Scary shit, bro. I love movies like that because it's like, you know, it's not just like you can watch. How many times can you watch fucking Wakanda Forever? I've watched Wakanda Forever 11 times, and I've never seen Wakanda Forever. It's all the same shit is my point. All right, let's do a few. I know it's a few, but we'll do a few, what do you call it? Misconnections. We got the thing here. Nice, look at that. Oh, wow, we also got fucking Chat GPT jokes. Right here? Let's do those. Chat GPT Crystalia jokes. This is Chat GPT. You put in Crystalia and something. I think it's dinner parties here is the first one. And I'm going to do the bit as I would do the bit, but I did not write this. Chat GPT did. I have not read these yet, but I'm going to do them, all right? As in me. A la me. I'm really going to do them as I do them. Like, I'm not going to half-ass it. Dinner parties. Dinner parties are like, they're like a game of Russian roulette with food, right? Let me start over. Dinner parties are like, you know what dinner parties are like? A game of Russian roulette with food. You never know what you're going to get. Some nights it's a 5-star meal. Other nights it's a bowl of cereal. And then there's always that one person who brings store-bought pasta salad. Like, come on, man. We all know that's not homemade. Dude, that's amazing. Wow. That's so bad. And I did it right, dude. That's exactly how I would do it. All right, I'll do another one. This is Jeopardy. Meet Chris's style of things on Jeopardy. Okay. Or Ken Jennings, maybe it was, because I don't know what it was. Ken Jennings, whatever. Ken Jennings on Jeopardy? That guy's like a human encyclopedia, man. I mean, I Google things and I can't keep up. It's like playing a game of Trivial Pursuit with a history professor. And the worst part is, he's got that poker face. You never know if he knows the answer or if he's just bluffing. Wow, so fucking not funny. All right. Now, Crystalia, Chat GPT, they put in Crystalia and iPhones. OneFire did this. Here we go. iPhones, man. They're like the new ex-girlfriends. They always want more attention, more updates, and more money. And every time you think you've got them figured out, they go and release a new model. It's like, hey, remember that thing you had? Yeah, it's outdated now, but don't worry. You can buy the new one for just a few $100 more. Wow, that actually is impressive. Chat GPT can understand what a joke is. And that is a horrible joke. But also, how did they do that? Here's one on Apple. Chris D'Elia and ChatGPT. Apple, same thing, like an iPhone's manufacturer. Here we go. Apple, man. They're like the cool kids in high school. They've got the latest gadgets, the slickest design, and they've always seemed to be one step ahead. But look, let's be real, all right? They're just overpriced computers with a fruit logo. And don't even get me started on their marketing. It's like they're trying to make a computer seem like a lifestyle choice. Hey, buy our computer and you two can sit in a sterile white room and look cool. Dude, how do they know how I would do that? That's bad, a bad version of me, but also how do they know I would do that? Also, that's probably better than 30% of this podcast. But All good. Wow, we got to do that every time. That's unbelievable that they did that. How did they do that? ChatGPT is amazing. We're done. We're fucked. Let's do a few things. And I got to do another show here. Misconnections. Here we go. The man who is on top of his job, Marina Del Rey. I'm looking for that guy who is mature, has been in the business for a long time, and on top, ... of his job. There's a little nugget spot in that tunnel that needs to be tested and prodded, and they need him to know exactly where it is and how it works. You have to go slower, else it won't work. Are you him? Dude, you know? Why is that? I mean, we know what he's talking about, anal, right? But why is he acting like they're looking for a nugget of shit? That's disgusting. Hey, guy, he's looking for excrement. Like, just be like, hey, guy, come do plumbing on me. Why so specific? Why so specific? This is like R&B, how it gets so specific. I'm looking for a guy who's mature. He has the business for a long time. Head on top of his job. There's a little nugget in a tunnel that needs to be tested and prodded, and I need to know exactly where it is. You have to go slow, or else it won't work. Are you him? Dude, the little water drops in it, you know. Well, that's it for YouTube. If you want to catch the rest of the episode, the uncut, the unedited, the ad-free episode of Congratulations, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/Chris D'Elia, and you can get that and all the other episodes. What we do is we have one episode extra a month that you cannot get on YouTube. You got to be on the Patreon. That's just $6. Go do it right now, and you get all the backlog episodes. We have so many right now. You could go binge them, you know, like it's the show 24. And, you know, that's it. Thanks, guys.